Okay, in this video I'll be showing you a couple of useful hotkeys within 3ds Max 2016. Before you watch this video, make sure you look at the description. In there it will be a bunch of prerequisite videos that you need to watch before you watch this video. Okay, let's get started. First thing, maximizing the viewport. Best way to do this, fastest way to do this that I know is press and hold the Alt and W key on your keyboard, and that will maximize your viewport, and you can press Alt and W again to minimize it. And you can do this no matter what view you want. As long as you've got that view selected, you can maximize and minimize that view very quickly. Switching between views, what's the quickest way? Say you've got the perspective view maximize. You want to switch to the left view, but you want to keep the same view size. I mean, depending on what view you want, if you want to go to the left view, you can press L on the keyboard. You can press T going to the top view. You can press B to go to the bottom view. But that's not the only views that you can actually check out. If you press V on the keyboard, you can actually now switch to other views which you can't actually access using the keyboard shortcuts, and that's as far as I know. So if you want to go say to the back view, you can click on that, press V again to bring up this menu. You can click on the right view and that'll bring up that. Now if you want to go back to the perspective view, you can press P on the keyboard, and now you're back in the perspective view. Another useful thing, say you're in the front view, you're working on something, and you quickly want to rotate to see what your model looks like, and it's now gone to the orthographic view. So if you want to switch from the orthographic view to the perspective view, you can press P on the keyboard. One reason why you may want to do that is when you're in the orthographic view, the perspective is quite different, and it's not really the best way to view your model from all angles. So next one is, say I'm just going to quickly create a box. Say you've got a model, right? You've been working on it, but somehow you just lose. It's like, where is the model? Quickest way is to press Z on the keyboard, and that will frame your model in the view, so now you can quickly access your model if you've accidentally lost it on the screen. Okay, one more thing before I demonstrate the next hotkey. I'm just going to change the color of this box. Okay, at the moment the edge faces aren't displayed, and in some cases you want them to be displayed. So if you want to do that, just press F4 on the keyboard, and that will display your edge faces, and you can press F4 again on the keyboard to make those edge faces go away. Another useful thing is actually being able to see the wireframe of your model, and to do this, press F3 on the keyboard, and now you can see the wireframe, and you can press F3 again to bring the shaded mode back. One thing that you'll be using a lot when modeling, especially when you're using reference inside the viewport, is making your object see-through or transparent. Now the first thing is you want to make sure that you're in shaded mode. Why? Okay, click on your box. The shortcut to go for your box to be invisible is Alt and X. Essentially press and hold the Alt key and press the X key and repeat to go through the invisible mode and to turn it off. Now notice when I go to invisible mode, it looks a bit noisy, a bit grainy. The reason for that is typically the invisible mode doesn't work so well with the realistic selector, so make sure you're in shaded view, and now you can see through that model, and if you had a reference sheet behind that, it'll be a lot easier. Press Alt and X again to go out of the invisible mode. Okay, let's go over some hotkeys for the selection modes. So here's all your selection modes. Press 1 on the keyboard to access the vertex mode, 2 to access the edge, 3 to access the border, 4 to access the polygon, and 5 to access the element. And notice you can quickly switch through those views very quickly. And another cool thing to do, another very useful hotkey, say you have two objects in the scene, you're working on this object, and say, you're done with working on this object, you want to quickly select this object, but you can't while the selection mode is active. Press 6 on the keyboard, and that will deselect any selection mode that you currently have active, and now you can switch to the other object very easily. Last hotkeys I'll go through are the scale, rotate, and move. So let's say you're working in, you've moved your box where you want it, and now you want to rotate it. Well, you have to press the the E key on the keyboard, and now you can rotate your model. Let's say you want to move your model now. Press the W key to move your model. And notice how these are getting highlighted as you change the hotkeys. Let's say you want to scale it. Press R on the keyboard, and now you can scale. And notice how you can quickly switch between modes. Very, very useful. So hopefully you have found this video useful, and hopefully it will speed up your workflow. Thanks for watching.